Well, what's going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It is very nice to have you here today. I want to have a discussion about Kershaw and what they're doing that I really like. These are on the table because they sort of tell a story. I've had Kershaw knives my whole life. I had a whole small collection of them a long time ago. I was a camper and a hiker long before I was a knife reviewer or collector. And Kershaw knives were what you got at Big Five or other sporting good places, and you beat the crap out of them, and they were in, I don't know, 8CR13 MOV or whatever they were in, and you'd use them until they were dead, and then you'd get another one because they were 20 or 25 bucks. When I got more into knives, I realized that that was high volume sales as opposed to quality. And so I sort of faded away. And then over the years, they did stuff like the NORAD and D2. They did some stuff they were trying. Some of it was okay. And then a few years ago, they released this. This is the Highball XL. We'll get to these in a minute. And, well, this one happens to be in D2, but it is, they call it a two-hand opening knife because there is no obvious deployment. But man, can you Spidey flick this thing like crazy, right? It's got an excellently shaped blade. It's an attractive design, right? I love it. And the first thing I said when I got it for review was, please make this in better materials, and I would have one. We'll get there in a second. Then, last year, they released the Iridium and the Heist. Both of these are fantastic pocket knives. No question, right? Just really good stuff. This is D2. This is D2. Now, when they moved into D2, of course, everybody in the knife community was like, D2, right? Everybody, because, companies had used that to death. But coming up from 8CR13 MOV, that's a real step up. And look at these blade shapes, right? You can see the family lineage. This is their in-house design logo. You can see this on the ZT0308 as well. This is their in-house design stuff. These blade shapes, the knives themselves are excellent. Well-made, comfortable, good cutters. And I've been saying the same thing since I got them, which is if you made high-end stuff in these designs, you'd be killing it. And then a couple of years ago now, Smoky Mountain Knife Works had Kershaw make them this. This is the Highball XL in titanium and S35 VN. And it has, since the day I got it, it has been one of my favorite small knives. It is comfortable. Well, it's everything that this is, except a little better. Do I wish they'd have stayed with the blue? Yeah, I do. I'm not a huge fan of blue on knives, as I mentioned before, but I'm not a huge fan of yellow either. But anyway, this came out. It was a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive, and I got it, and I have to tell you, the first thing I said after playing with it and using it for a while was, oh my God, if they can do this, and they can, why aren't they? I get that their sales are volume-based and that, if they sell 50, $20 knives, it's better for them than 10 of these 100, this is 100 bucks, $99, something like that. Anyway, recently, however, Kershaw has been, and it's because they're listening to me. No, it's not. They've been doing stuff like this. This is the Heist in S35 VN. This makes, it was Christmas. I was using these to open packages. This makes me very, very happy. Excuse me while I knock everything in the world off onto the table. So let's do it this way. Put that here, and it's a more expensive cousin brother there. This is the Heist. Now, mind you, this one is just in G10, but it's an S35 VN blade. This is it the perfect pocket knife? I don't know. It might be. It's a slightly thicker slice than their D2 version. But other than that, these two knives are virtually identical, except that this is just a better material. And this was 150 bucks, I think. Now, one of the more recent releases that I absolutely fell in love with is the Iridium. It's just beautiful, right? It's, damn, sorry about that. It's pokey. It's very slicey. These are aluminum scales. Nothing wrong with this, even in D2. This is a fantastic pocket knife, but this is even better. This is the Iridium in M390 and carbon fiber. It's got a red back spacer. It is an identical knife, as opposed to these two, which have slight variations. This is almost identical, except that it is lighter. It is, blade's going to last a lot longer. This is $180, something like that. Now, don't get me wrong. These are 60, 70. You know, you're definitely going to pay for the upgrade, but I have long said that if Kershaw would stop relying on budget sales and make good knives, because they have the capacity, these in their budget versions are fantastic. Comfortable, reasonably priced, excellent designs. God, the Iridium's a good knife. But now they're doing something else. And, you know, in a market where, if you want to spend $600 on a knife, you know, you could do it all day. If you want to spend $700 on a knife, you can do it all day. They're everywhere. In the $150 to $200 market, you get a lot of like Nitro V, and you just get a lot of kind of materials. I mean, I'm glad they're out there, but Kershaw has come along and said, what if we took some of our more popular designs and just made them better? And I am 100%, I'm here for it. If you have a heist, you are absolutely happy. It is a great knife. If you have an Iridium in the original form, you are absolutely happy. It is a great knife. And if you've got one of these old Highballs, you may love it. It's kind of hefty. The steel scales are, this is a hefty knife. But now you can do something else. And I think you should. First, I like Kershaw. It's a little bit like Gerber and a whole bunch of the old companies, man. Stuff that have been around since I was a kid, right? You guys know that I have a thing for SOG, right? Then SOG's new high-end stuff absolutely makes me happy. Oh, speaking of their high-end stuff, this is the Bel Air in Magna Cut from the nice folks at Kershaw. And holy crap, this is a nice knife. Carbon fiber, Magna Cut, just freaking amazing. This is about $180. This is what I want from Kershaw. And this is what they're doing. And it makes me really happy because for the money, these are some of the best knives going. I'm going to weigh these out in a minute. I'll show you something about this Bel Air. If I can. There it is. So let's talk about the Bel Air just for a minute. We'll come back to the others. And I'll tell you which one is my favorite. So that's the Bel Air. That's a bug out. They are within $20 or $30 of each other. I'm curious. Because the bug out's really only sell point is that it's what, 1 point... Oh, that's really stiff. 1.8 ounces. Yeah, 1.8 ounces. It's stupid that I know that off the top of my head. The Bel Air is 2.5, right? So it is about a half ounce more in weight. And you get a Magna Cut blade. It's kind of warny, which is excellent for EDC. You get a lovely deep carry clip, which came on it, which is weird because it's really deep. Like it's disappear deep. It is, feels better in the hand than you can still see, you can squeeze a bug out, right? The bug out's claim to fame is how much it weighs. The Bel Air, Speaking of weight, how much is this one? 2.8. This is an ounce more than this. Now that's a substantial increase, but the aluminum is 3.4, 2.8. Anyway, the point is that you don't have to buy a bug out anymore if you want a really lightweight, excellent knife. Having had both of these for a long time, the Bel Air is more comfortable for me. It's a little bit thicker through the scales, which makes a big difference. It's more comfortable. I prefer the almost Wharncliffe style blade to a traditional drop point for little tiny everyday carries. This is a really nice knife. Anyway, that's kind of my point. I'm kind of done. I just wanted to come on here and remind you that Kershaw... Now, there is one problem, which is if you want one of these, you're going to have to kind of hunt for them. They're not making these in big numbers. I found this one on sale on the Kershaw website, and the actual suggested retail price is like $300. Don't do that. Like I said, I got it for like $180 on sale. But what we can do by buying these is tell Kershaw, Kai Industries, that we're out here and we're willing to do it, and we're happy that they're doing it. Like, don't get me wrong, for 60, 50, 60, 70 bucks, you know, you can't go wrong with their more budget-minded stuff. But these exist. These are proof that when Kershaw wants to make an absolutely competitive, particularly these two, oh my God, competitive in the modern knife market pocket knife for a reasonable price and excellent materials, they just can. And I hope they keep doing it. As someone, as I said, who's been using Kershaw since I was a kid, well, teenager. Kershaw's not that old, but I am. They got to keep doing this. They got to bring this back. The fact that this was sort of a one and done for Smoky Mountain Knife Works is a real bummer. My hope is that now that they're doing this, they will come forward and do more, because we're out here. The market exists. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Should Kershaw stay in their lane? Should they continue to make just budget stuff? Or are you guys cool with the fact that they have decided to step up and make some really interesting higher end material knives? I know I'm happy. Anyway, this has been my thoughts on where Kershaw is going. These are available now. I got this one on Tools for Gents, something like that. They're a little hard to find, but they're worth the effort. They really are fantastic. Anyway, this has been my look at sort of Kershaw's more fancy stuff. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I've enjoyed owning these. These are just going to stay with me. Other stuff comes and goes, but these make me really happy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about any of these Kershaws, feel free to ask down in the comments below. I will post links in the description to, maybe you can find these, maybe you can't, I don't know. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Should Kershaw keep doing this? Or should they stay in their lane and just keep making sort of budget stuff? You tell me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.